Hello and welcome to Future Fit Leadership. I'm your host, Sadhna Smiles, and welcome to our Spotlight series where I speak with bold, curious, and forward-thinking leaders about the world of leadership we're stepping into. These conversations are here to challenge, inspire, and remind you that the future of leadership is being shaped right now by leaders like you. Because let's be honest, we are the generation of leaders writing the new rules. Please enjoy my conversations in this Spotlight series. Joining us today is Tanja Lee, who is passionate about exploring the art of human excellence, how we can build ethical ecosystems, and doing conscious commerce within organisations. Tanja, welcome to our Spotlight series. How are you today?
I'm great, Sadhna. Thank you for the opportunity to come back.
I'm looking forward to our series of questions that we've got, particularly for this Spotlight series. So let's get into it. If you had to describe a future fit leader in just 3 words, the kind of leader we'll need more in the years ahead, what would they be and why?
Influence through coherence.
Tell me more about that.
So, a leader is always in a position of influence. And consider, Sadhna, we can be in 2 states of influence. We can influence in a state of stress and survival, and research shows most people are there unconsciously, or we can influence in a state of coherence where we're in homeostasis, we're in balance and order, the brain and the heart are talking together, and we're not operating in a state of survival where we're in fight, run, or hide mode. When we're in coherence, we are relaxed in the heart, awake in the brain, and we're in a state of creation and innovation. We're more communicative, we're more collaborative, we're more innovative. And either way, we influence. It's just which state do you want to influence from, and what are the ramifications as a result?
What's one future shift in the next few years that you think most leaders are underestimating or not prepared for?
I think, to quote one of my mentors, Dr. Joe Dispenza, we live in a time in history where it's not enough to know. This is a time to know how. And what I think leaders need to be prepared for is to lead in coherence. The impacts of people living and leading in lives of stress and survival is very unsustainable. And the bottom line results, you think about it, for all leaders that are listening now, typically the most expensive line item on any P&L is human resources. Every leader wants to get maximum return on human resource investment. But if you treat your leaders like the workforce rather than the life source, and you're not creating and cultivating an environment where they get to really rise and thrive, that's going to have significant bottom line impacts with presenteeism, absenteeism, poor productivity and performance, high turnover, which is super expensive. And so I think leaders need to really understand we've got to educate ourselves to be able to lead through coherence and reduce the stress levels of our people and the environment.
What do you wish more leaders were paying closer attention to?
The state of their people. Richard Branson, he does all right for himself. His philosophy is treat your people like your clients, and they'll treat the customers like gold. And I still think, even in 2025, Sadhna, many leaders have, unfortunately, an archaic view of we bypass our people for profit. And our people are the nexus between our future being fulfilled and our bank balance being full. And it's not whether we should, it's a matter of must.
What are the possibilities or shifts you see in the future of leadership or work that genuinely excites you, and why?
Well, look, you know me and how passionate I am about this sort of stuff. For me, it is all about education. We live in a time, as I said, it's not enough to know. We need to know how. And so what I'm excited about is teaching and teaching the neuroscience of change, teaching leaders how to shift out of cultures of stress and survival where people are very self-centric and we're spending a lot of energy either in attack and defend, or running away from the situation and avoiding responsibilities, or hiding and procrastinating and avoiding doing what we need to do to move the needle. So when we teach leaders and teams how to get out of those states of stress and survival and get into a state of creation and collaboration and innovation and inspiration, it's just a much more effective and efficient and enjoyable place to be.
My last one is, if you could embed one leadership quality into every current and future CEO, something you believe will be essential in the next decade, what would it be and why?
Coherence. You know, I've been studying for a year and a half on this, and it's business is an opportunity to create, and to create means to bring something into being from nothing. And businesses exist to do two things: solve a problem or provide benefits. And you've got a business that does both, then you're winning. But we need coherence. We need relaxed hearts and awake brains and feeling in balance and order. And in that state of being, we can really create incredible things that are deep and meaningful to people and produce successful businesses as a result. It's all about energy.
I don't do this very often, but I'm going to dig in a little bit with coherence. Talk to me more. Is it body, mind, soul? Is it coherence around your value, the company values, how you show up at the work, how you behave in the office? Like, talk to me more about, what does coherence mean in the workplace?
Great question. Put it this way: when we're incoherent, it means we are knocked out of homeostasis. So I'm talking in the theme or the realm of neuroscience, the relationship between how our brain affects our body and how our environment influences how we act and react. So when we're incoherent, we're knocked out of homeostasis. We have a central nervous system, and we have two branches: the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is when the brain switches on the stress response, and stress is good. Short-term stress is good. We need to be able to react and respond really quickly, Sadhana. If someone's run a red light, we have to mobilize enormous amounts of energy to save our life. It's part of survival. However, long-term stress and chronic stress, that is unsustainable, and no organism is designed to live in emergency mode, 24/7, 365 days a year. And most people, research shows, the physiological and psychological model shows that people are living in states of stress 70, 80, sometimes 90% of the time. And that imbalance becomes the new balance. We think it's normal to be in those states. So that's incoherence when we're in that state. What does it mean to be incoherent? Have you ever had the experience, those that are listening, and you too, Sadhana, where you can't think clearly, you can't put two sentences together, your heart rate's going, you're emotionally charged, and we know when emotion is high, intelligence is low. They're pretty clear signs you're in a state of stress. You're not really going to do great work, and you may send that text or that email and then think, oof, I really shouldn't have done that. I should have calmed the farm a little bit. But coherence is when we're in the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's when we're in homeostasis. We're in balance and order. And this is where we can rest, digest, heal, repair, renew, and grow. That is the environment for creativity, inspiration, collaboration. We take risks. We're more empathetic. We're more open to listening to other people's perspectives, which is healthy for leading and teamwork and customer service. We're not in any of those states when we're in fight, flight, freeze. And we're in fight, flight, freeze where everything feels like a threat. That text is a threat. That phone call with the client's a threat. A staff member resigning, it's a threat. And we tend to take everything personally, and we're not really thinking rationally. So that's the difference. And I love does that make sense?
It does make sense. Yes.
Completely. I love the preface of your question with, does that also mean coherence with values? For sure. In the realm of what I'm speaking about, though, it's more so the neuroscience of our state of being, and we're either in a state of survival or we're in a state of creation, and we really need to be in a state of creation to effectively lead. And no one wants to work with a leader that's leading through stress and survival, and that is unsustainable.
Really good points you make, Tanja, because the reality is the leadership book has been thrown out and we are actually creating a new form, style, how we lead. It's all very new. And those of us who are doing it are actually creating the new way of leading right now.
Yeah.
There is no book for this. We are writing the book. But that
And
means there's added level of stress around that.
yeah, and look at your title, Future Fit Leadership. If we're in chronic stress, long-term stress, that has significant impacts on our mental health, our immune function. We are more prone to, disease. And it's not a matter of if, it is a matter of when, because we use enormous amounts of energy to be in states of fight, flight, freeze, and that energy is no longer there for cell renewal. And so that's when you see people break down, and it's now it's proven to be the case. So I think education on what does fit actually mean from a neurological and biological perspective. And in addition to that, when we're coherent, especially when we have heart coherence, balance and order, and it's a relaxed rhythm rather than a stressed out rhythm, people can feel your energetic field within several meters. Your energy introduces you before you even speak. Think about it. Leaders, you just walk into a room and you're influencing your people, and you're either influencing them into be scared and operating in survival, or you're influencing them to create and innovate and trust each other and take risks and embrace mistakes and operate cohesively and collaboratively. And it's palpable. You can feel it. Feeling it's one thing, but then actively knowing how to shift your state and then serve your clients in that realm, that's a game changer. And it's a compelling competitive point of difference. That's why I believe educating people on this information is necessary to being a future fit leader.
Tanja, thank you so much for your time. As always, it is wonderful to chat with you.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for listening.
I hope you're enjoying our conversation. A quick word from our sponsor. Have you ever wondered how to attract, develop, and augment diverse leadership capability in your organization? Well, Future Leadership has a range of leadership solutions, including executive search, interim executives, leadership development programs, coaching, and workforce transformation specialists. They are an Australian-owned B Corp and one of very few globally accredited and connected talent solution firms. They are very proud of their 22-year history, bringing more diverse leadership to Australian decision-making tables. See the link in our show notes to get in touch with them. If you like what you've heard, please share, rate and review this podcast, and don't forget to share it with anyone who might benefit from hearing it. The producer of Future Fit Leadership is Maritza Barone from Guide Your Light Network. If you would like to reach out to me, please DM me on any of my social media platforms. I'm available for speaking at conferences or consulting to your business. Future Fit is created in partnership with Future Leadership, a capability ecosystem for boards and executives. If you'd like to join the community and receive a free takeaway each week, sign up to the Future Exchange app in my show notes. Thank you for having me in your space.